Hello everyone, Abhishek here. Today's topic is variables in Postman. What are variables? Variables are essentially anything where we can store the data. Now, in case of API testing or working with Postman, we are basically going to work with URLs. So, we are going to create variables for the URLs. Now, there are different ways to create your variables in Postman. The first and easiest way is whatever you want to set as a variable, you just select that particular text. Now, like in our case, the base URL is always going to be same when you're working with one particular project. So as soon as you select that particular option in any of your requests, you'll be able to see this particular option called set as variable. You just click on that and you can click on this set as a new variable. Now you can give a certain name. So we are going to give this as URL. Now here you'll see scope. Now what does scope mean? There is one scope called global scope, one is called environment scope, and one is called collection scope. Now for now we are going to select collection test 2 in which this particular request is residing. After that we are going to discuss about the other two scopes as well. So I'll click on this, I'll click on set as variable. Now since we were working in this particular request, it got selected like this. Okay, I'll click on save and I'll just create a new request and I'll use the same request what we were using before. So let me copy this URL and I'll type this API/users. So if I send this particular request, it is going to work fine. Now let's say I want to replace this. So the syntax for this is double curly brackets start, double curly brackets end. And now here if I'm going to type URL, which was our variable which we have recently set up, if I click on send, it is going to work fine as well. It's the same request, I just created to show how we can add it in case we want to. Now if you want to see what is the value inside this, you just hover over this and you'll be able to see what is the value and what is the scope here. Okay, so this was one particular way how to create a variable. The second way is you just click on your collection. Okay, now whatever variable you create while going into the request is going to get populated here and it is going to apply it for the entire collection, like based on the scope what you have selected. Now let's say I want to create a new variable here. So let's take this sections /API and let's go to this and write second variable, and I'll just copy this variable name so that we are not messing it up, and we'll write /API here and /API here. After this I'm just going to click on save and I'm going to go back to the request and let's move this and put double curly brackets and I'll copy paste the URL name second variable and I'm going to put like this. So see, as soon as you put and a variable exists, it is going to display the value regarding that. Now I'll just click on save and I'll click on send. Now the variable what we have set up here is only going to work inside this particular collection. There is another way to create variables. Now let's say I want to create variables which I want to work in the entire project. So those are called as global variables. Now in our case, this particular section is remaining /users. So in order to create a global variable, you need to see the place where it says no environment, and next to that you'll see a particular icon called environment quick look. You just click on that and you'll be able to see an option called globals. You just click on add here and here you'll get that option. So we are going to write global variable and here I am going to write /users. I'll just copy this so that I'm not making any mistake in the variable name, and I'll just click on save. Now I'll go to my collection, my request, and instead of users, so what was the name we have set? /users. So I can just remove the entire section here and I can write double curly brackets. Now the global variable name itself was global variable, so we are going to use that. So these two are local to this particular collection, but this is globally. So if you see, if I hover over this scope global, scope collection. Now if I click on send, it is going to work fine. Okay. Now I will just create a new request here with the same URL, or let me copy this particular section, this particular request, and put it in another collection. And if I paste this here, we are seeing URL second variable, and this is fine. This is what I wanted to show. So if I click on send, this is not going to give me a response. Why? So as we see, we are getting a error, could not send the request, because these variables were only defined in this particular collection. Okay, the scope of this was limited. So I will remove these two, and I'm going to copy this. So our base URL was reqres.in and /API /users. So let me paste that here. /API and /users was there. Now our request is working fine, but I want to use the global variable and see if it is working in this. So instead of /users, I'm going to put double curly brackets, select the global variable, and then click on send. So see, this is working fine in this collection as well, in this collection as well. Now second way to create a global variable, obviously we got the idea, but let me just repeat this. So if you select something here and you click on set as variable, here you get an option set as new variable, and in the scope you need to select global scope. That's how you can create a variable for global scope inside a request. So these were the two ways, two scopes and different ways around it. Now there's another way. You can click on this and you can create a new environment. Now when you are creating variables in one particular environment, so let's say we have created three environments, dev, QA, and for performance testing, PA environment, and we want separate variables to be working at separate environment level. So you can click on this, you can create an environment and you can create variables. Now whichever environment you will select, that particular scope will be applied to the collections behind it, and that will work accordingly. We'll discuss about how to do the environment creation in future videos, but this pretty much sums up the whole variable video. Thank you very much for watching, and let me know if you have any feedback. Do like, share and subscribe.